What's good, everybody? I am the coach, and welcome into the Major League Baseball playoff preview edition of the Early Edge, your daily sports betting show of record. We are powered by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting. And I got to tell you, if you don't follow my star on Twitter and follow his baseball picks at SportsLine, I don't know what you're doing, because John Bollman is up over $5,000 in his last 275 picks. That's right. For $100 better, you would have won over $5,000 if you followed this man's picks. He is fully transparent all the time on Twitter. I encourage you to follow him. But right here, right now, he is all about this year's playoffs. Let's bring in the star of the show. And there he is, Mr. Analytics, the smartest guy in the room, John Bollman. Welcome to the Early Edge, sir.
Hey, glad to be back, Coach.
It's great to have you back. We saw you. It's hard to believe. It's been like 6 months since we did the preview pods. But that's over now. That's over now. We got to look forward to the playoffs. I know you're locked and loaded. So let's go ahead and show everybody what the playoffs look like this year. Couldn't have any better matchups in the wild card games. The Yankees traveling to Boston, take on the Red Sox on Tuesday. Then the Cardinals traveling to L.A. to take on the Dodgers on Wednesday. And then it really gets going for real on Thursday. Astros and the Sox. Tampa Bay plays the winner of the Red Sox, and the Yankees can't get any better than that. Then on the National League side, you got the Brewers and the Braves, and then the Giants will play the winner of the Dodgers and the Cardinals. You can't get any better than that. This year is going to be awesome in the playoffs. So, Johnny, let's start with two picks from the wild card games on Tuesday and Wednesday. What do you got?
Yeah, Coach. So first game, I like the Cardinals as the underdogs, plus 190 versus the Dodgers. We have a battle of ageless wonders in the NL wildcard game, and Adam Wainwright and Max Scherzer. In his last 10 starts, Wainwright has allowed more than 2 runs just twice and pitched fewer than 6 innings just once. He also faced the Dodgers on September 8th and allowed 4 runs and 8 1/3 and picked up the win. Max Scherzer has allowed more than 2 runs just twice in his last starts, but those are in each of his last 2 games. In the 2019 wildcard game with the Nats, he allowed 3 runs and 2 home runs in 5 innings in his wildcard start. The Cards are the hottest team in baseball right now, and Walker Buehler's probably not going to piggyback Scherzer after he started on Sunday. And Max Muncy could be out after getting injured on Sunday. So I like the value on the Cards.
Yeah, they had to go all in to try to win the division, couldn't pull it off. And now, you don't want to use the word stuck, but they're stuck with Max Scherzer and then not having that big name behind him at plus 185. That's incredible value. What do you like on the American League side?
Yeah, I mean, can you ask for anything more in a winner-take-all wild card game in the Yankees and Red Sox? So the Yankees opted not to pitch Garrett Cole on short rest on Sunday so he could start the wild card game, and I think that benefits them. I like the Yankees at minus 115, minus 120 versus the Red Sox. He has seriously struggled lately, but if there's anyone that can lock it in for a start, it's him. He hasn't had the best success against the Red Sox this season, but he also hasn't been awful. Cole is definitely different in the playoffs as well. He has a 2.68 ERA in the playoffs, and he has allowed more than 2 runs just twice in his last 8 playoff starts. Nate Eovaldi was hit hard by the Yankees in Boston in his only playoff, experience was in 2018, where he only made 2 starts, but he did pitch well. The Yankees also have the luxury of going their AL leading bullpen, while the Red Sox are hit and miss with just about all their relievers. And I think playing on the road will settle the Yankees with the pressure that comes in a home wild card game if they were to go down early. So I like the Yankees and their pitching staff.
Man, I love that analysis on why you think the Yankees being on the road could help them. It's interesting psychology for a Yankees team that has been an absolute mess at times this year, but they got hot at the right time and just sneak in as a wild card team. Now, 2 of the series are set. Obviously, we have to wait for the 2 wildcard games for the other 2 series to be set. But you're looking at the Astros and the White Sox, and you really like one of these teams. Which one is it?
Yeah, so I really like the Astros in this matchup, minus 130 versus the White Sox. This is an interesting matchup between playoff veterans and the Astros making their 5th straight playoff appearance, and the playoff newcomers in the White Sox making just their first full season postseason appearance since 2008. We also have the narrative of Dusty Baker versus Tony La Russa. Being the playoff newcomers, the White Sox have a lot of question marks. Lance Lynn hasn't been great in the second half. Carlos Rodon has barely pitched, and who knows how much he'll be able to pitch. Dallas Keuchel has been terrible and will be relegated to the bullpen even if he makes the postseason roster. While the Astros, on the other hand, have tons of playoff experience, and they're finally healthy. The Astros definitely have some question marks with starting pitching too, as Zach Greinke's struggling lately, but they have better options in Lance McCullers Jr., Framber Valdez, and Jose Urquidy. The White Sox are ranked third in bullpen ERA, while the Astros are ranked fourth, so there isn't much separation there. But I think the two biggest things in this matchup are wins against quality opponents and who has been playing meaningful baseball. The White Sox clinched the division weeks ago and have had nothing to play for, and they're just 27-29 against teams over 500 this season. The Astros are playing meaningful baseball all the way down to the last week of the season, and they're 44-32 against teams over 500. Take the Astros.
It is very hard to flip that switch when you have really secured your spot several weeks ago, as you said. So we're on the Astros on the money line. You're only laying 30 cents, so I don't mind that price at all. Now, let's fast forward. I love futures, and I love futures when we're talking about the World Series. So give me a couple of plays, maybe more than that, of teams that you think have value, and then we can make some money on.
Yeah, so quick reminder, we're going to make 3 plays in the World Series futures, but if one of them hits, we're up big. So that's really our goal here, is to either hit one of these big or to hopefully get an AL pick and an NL pick in the World Series, and then we're up either way. So if you're going to make just one play on a team to win the World Series, though, you should bet on the Rays plus 700. Their Rays are currently tied for the third best or even fifth best odds, depending on the book you use to win the World Series. But I think they should be first, having won 100 games for the first time in franchise history. We're used to knowing the Rays as a defense and bullpen team too, but this season they've scored the most runs in the entire league while putting up the second best ERA in the American League. Looking back at the past 6 World Series winners, all 6 have been in the top 10 in both ERA and weighted on base average, and the Rays fit that bill the best. Our sims at SportsLine actually have the Rays winning the World Series in 24% of simulations, which is easily the best in the league, with the Dodgers in second at just 15.7%, just because they're in the wild card game. So with the Dodgers in the wild card game, I think this team should be the favorite to win the World Series. So we're getting great value at plus 700 and 14.2% implied odds.
What else do you got? I know on the National League side, you have 2 plays that would be on opposite sides, which, again, I think is very, very smart by you. What do you like there?
Yeah, so on the NL side, we like the Brewers plus 750 to win the World Series. The Brewers are probably the only team that can match the Dodgers in strength and starting pitching. And we saw how the 2019 Nats were able to make it through the playoffs with that combo. So if Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, and Freddie Peralta can pitch how they're capable, they'll give the Brewers a chance to win every night. And that's all you can really ask for. Not to mention Eric Lauer has been on fire lately and can give any team fits from the left side. Devin Williams most likely will be out all playoffs with a broken hand, but this team has plenty of relief options, starting with Josh Hader and Brad Boxberger, and they can platoon against both lefties and righties. If their bats can be just decent, they should have success. They also lucked out with probably the easiest path in the league, avoiding the NL West powerhouses until at least the NLCS, and maybe altogether.
What about your long shot, per se, that the way they're playing right now isn't that much of a long shot?
Yeah, so the third pick is Cardinals at plus 2,000 to win the World Series. So I picked the Cardinals at plus 2,500 and the Braves at plus 1,000 to win the World Series on early edge before the season started. But with season-ending injuries to players like Ronald Acuna and Mike Soroka, I'm going to favor the Cardinals pick now. So obviously the Dodgers in a winner-take-all game is a test for anybody, but the Cards lucked out with Buehler pitching in game 162, like I said, and should avoid him piggybacking Scherzer. I wouldn't rule out him pitching 1 inning because he could be on his bullpen day. The Cardinals have been the hottest team in baseball, riding a 17-game win streak into the playoffs, and they're 23-8 since the start of September, including 13-3 on the road. And they have plenty of good bullpen options, including Giovanni Gallegos, TJ McFarland, and Luis Garcia, with the perfect mix of veterans and rookies in the clubhouse. Guys like Yadi Molina, Adam Wainwright, Dylan Carlson, Harrison Bader. This is the last team you want to face right now.
I tell you what, and for those of you out there right now, they're going, you know what? I'm gonna try and beat the system. I'm gonna wait till after the wild card game, play the Cardinals. You won't get them at plus 2,200 after the wild card game. So you're gonna bet on them. It's a long shot because they're in the wild card game. You got to play them before the wild card, or probably come down, I would say 13 or 14 at least, when there's only 8 teams left. Would you agree with that?
I agree. And that's also why we're on 2 NL teams. So if the Cardinals do get knocked out in the first round, then we're on the other side in the Brewers to hopefully get a Brewers-Rays matchup in the World Series and win big.
Now, I do know that if people want to play at DraftKings, the Rays, who is your pick, and the Cardinals to match up, plus 4,500 at DraftKings if you want to play that specific matchup. That could be kind of fun. And I think that could hit. I really, really do. But they got to get past that wild card game. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap from my man, John Bollman. And it looks glorious. In the wild card games, we're going to go Cardinals plus 185 and the Yankees minus 115 at Fenway. Then one division series pick. And as always, Johnny's also always making picks at SportsLine. Become a member. You can get every single pick that he gives out. Astros minus 130 over the White Sox. And then World Series 3 plays. Rays plus 700. Brewers plus 750. And then Cardinals plus 2,200. If you make those 3 plays, if one of them hits, you're guaranteed to make money. It's very, very simple. All right. We love baseball. We love the playoffs. We love all the information that Johnny gives to us, preview show, and now here in the playoffs. So there's only one thing left to do. It's our staple. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these playoff tickets straight to the pay window. For John Bollman, follow him on Twitter. For the jeweler, I am the coach. Remember, it doesn't matter the sport, the day. We're here every single day, 365 days a year. We like to call it the early edge. Good luck.